Hello, my name is Marcus, and welcome to my channel. Captain America, A Brave New World is finally upon us. The newest entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the continuation of the Captain America franchise. Only this time, there is a zero presence of Steve Rogers. The biggest question that I'm sure the majority of us had going into this movie was, can the Captain America franchise continue on the silver screen without the presence of the original Captain America, Steve Rogers? I can calmly say that the short answer is yes. This is a good movie. This is a really good movie. Not a spectacular movie, not a perfect movie, but ultimately I was thoroughly enjoyed with Anthony Mackie's performance as Captain America. He did a really good job. I feel like he fulfilled the role to the best of his ability, and I feel like he represented the role with the core standard of principles and responsibility and integrity that the Captain America mantle has been represented to us for the past 15 20 years now. At this point, he did a really stellar job, and I cannot wait to see him in future appearances. Sam Wilson is not Steve Rogers. That is made painfully apparent in the opening credits to the closing credits. And the character Sam Wilson feels the pressure of trying to be what Steve Rogers was throughout the entire duration of the movie. Steve Rogers took part in stopping two alien invasions in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Trying to live up with that could seem kind of impossible to a normal human, especially one that has not taken the super soldier serum. But I believe in that human aspect of Sam. One of my favorite quotes from the movie is kind of in a cameo appearance by Bucky of him and Sam having a conversation. Steve is a legend. He represented an ideal. He represented, the best of all of us. And then in Sam doing the best of his ability to live up to that legendary status, to live up to that ideal. It's almost an aspiration to want to be like a Sam Wilson, to even have the magnitude to come close to a Steve Rogers. I really appreciate that. Steve held the super soldier serum in his blood. We cannot forget that. Sam does not hold the super soldier serum. I think throughout the duration of the comics, he does not have it. I think he eventually takes it, but I can confirm that throughout this movie, he does not take the serum at all whatsoever. So it is an excellent representation of the character. Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross. I've said it before numerous times on this channel. I will say it once again. A superhero movie is only defined on how good it is, depending on how good the antagonist or the villain arc is. Harrison Ford commands every scene that he appears in this movie, even more so than Sam Wilson himself, Anthony Mackie. It's crazy. Harrison Ford has decades upon decades of acting experience. It is showcased here 100-fold. He has a pretty strong repertoire of roles that he's played in the past. I don't think it's worth mentioning those. We all know. But having him take on the role of Thunderbolt Ross after the previous actor passed away, it's a very sad situation, but we could not have had a better actor take over this role. Definitely appreciated his political style within this movie, and seeing him contend with Captain America and the leader, so on and so forth. It was a really great addition to the movie and absolutely puts it in the good to great category of MCU movies compared to the average to not so good MCU movies, period. Danny Ramirez portrays Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon for the movie. When it comes to sidekicks in superhero movies, he's one of these where he has some good quips, some good one-liners. He has some decent action scenes, but me personally, he just didn't really touch me per se. His performance just didn't impact me in a way where I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to see him again. And listen, for me, I will admit it's extremely nitpicky because he was very useful in the movie. He essentially helped Sam in every single mission that he was a part of in the movie. There wasn't really a part of the movie where I was like, he's kind of useless right here. What's going on here? He didn't really ever need to be saved. He never was that role that needed help from the main core hero to, progress into that full-fledged sidekick role. He did okay. It was fair. It was good. It wasn't terrible. Now, if we're comparing the partnership of those two compared to the Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson partnership. Now, listen, it's not even close. It's just something about the Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson partnership that's just special. It's legendary. We had years to materialize it. We had years to focus on it. We had years for it to be melted into our being. So maybe in due time, the Sam Wilson Falcon partnership will be that good as well. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Isaiah Bradley. There's something about this character. Every time I see him on screen, it just puts a smile on my face. It really does. One of the original Captain Americas that got locked up and tortured and had conspiracy theories performed upon him, got out, is living a peaceful life. He's helping Sam come into his role as the new Captain America, helping train him. He does have the super soldier serum. This is pretty cool. And I also like that this movie showcased that the super soldier serum is still extremely prevalent in his being as well. So when the core, story of the movie is he gets hypnotized and ends up attacking Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross. He gets locked up, and through this series of events, it really starts to hit home. And, the relationship between Sam and Isaiah, it really starts to bring the emotions out of me. It kind of brought the emotions out of me and Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well when they were, kind of figuring out Isaiah's story. So definitely bringing him in to be like the cornerstone of the core, fabrications of the reasonings for the missions on why they needed to be accomplished to, free Isaiah from his confinement. That definitely helped to drive the motivational factor of the story along for me personally. I developed a personal attachment to Isaiah's story in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So kind of seeing that brought to the forefront once again for Captain America, that was a personal great decision for me to really make me care about this story 1000%. Brilliant job, Kevin Feige and team, for that writing. I really do appreciate that. Then we have Shiri Hess portraying Sabra, the head of security detail for President Ross. Also, the cool thing about her character is that she received her fighting training from the Red Room, similar to Natasha and Yolanda, so specifically Black Widow training. So that is very cool. That is also showcased very well within numerous action scenes of the movie. She definitely had some of the iconic twirls, kicks, grappling hooks, and takedowns that Natasha showcased so well over the decades of Avengers movies. Now, that's definitely not to say that Saber will even remotely close replace Natasha Romanoff. Romanoff is irreplaceable in my opinion, but it is cool to see a kind of a replacement for her in this Captain America movie. Also, as excited as I am to see Yolanda in the Thunderbolts, it's kind of cool to see other Black Widows kind of take their place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe after the events of Black Widow. Very excited to see her in other projects. I hope we see her again soon. Then we have Giancarlo Espinato as Self Volker. Absolutely phenomenal. Every second this man was on screen, he commanded the screen specifically. Just spectacular. There's nothing that I've seen him in that sucked. Honestly, from Breaking Bad to The Mandalorian, and now he makes his debate in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. My only hope and my only kind of nitpick as well is that he was not utilized enough. I think we've all kind of heard through the grapevines that he was only added on reshoots. That is just unfortunate. Clearly, he should have been in this project from the very beginning. Honestly, I think it's truly time to give this man the flowers that he deserves. Let him be a true villain, a full-fledged bad guy. Like, he doesn't need help. Just let him be the full-fledged villain in a true movie. I hope that we see him again soon. I wouldn't mind him, this character, getting his own series. He's just that good. You know, he's one of those names at this point now. If I see his name attached to a project, you know, it's at the very least it's going to be decent. Then we have our pretty much our main baddie, our Samuel Stearns, portrayed by Tim Blake Nelson. We haven't seen this character since The Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton. So it's really cool to see this character make its return. As we remember, he got his brain infected by Bruce Banner's blood. We thought that would be the end of him, but he actually ended up getting it more infused, which once Ross got a hold of him. And through the plot of the movie, we realized that Ross was utilizing his brains to progress further in his career, to, you know, further enhance, you know, military weapons, and pretty much just took advantage of his enhanced mental capacity on a ploy to, you know, offer him leniency for his involvement in the Abomination Hulk fight that took place in Harlem. Just your typical manipulation by Ross and broken promises of him getting out of jail, but obviously he never did. So, you know, he ended up formulating this revenge plot to systematically take down not only Ross himself, but just Ross's legacy in general. And he did a fine job of kind of doing it from the inside as well. Definitely the mental manipulation of doing the mind control of the FBI agents and Isaiah specifically to, you know, counteract his assassination attempt. And then Ross was having cardiac issues and, you know, began taking pills presented to him by, you know, Stans, which eventually led him to develop the Hulk-like tendencies because they were filled with gamma radiation, which cool for us because that led to probably one of the coolest MCU fights in the last, you know, like 10 years here. So Red Hulk versus Captain America was a super cool fight to behold for sure. Was it one of the best MCU movie fights I've ever seen? Nah, I wouldn't give it that much, but it was definitely, I was entertained. I would say that for sure. Definitely a good popcorn flick for sure. Good, great action scenes with Cap and Falcon flying through the air, especially on the Celestial Island where they were trying to, you know, break apart the Japanese and the Americans, where they were trying to get the vibranium. I know I didn't mention that. I haven't really gone too far into the plot. Figured for this one I'd focus more on the individual performances of each characters, but pretty much the plot focuses on the finding of the vibranium on the Celestial Island, originally found from the Eternals. So you know, they're trying to take a grasp of that or trying to hold on to that. So pretty cool. You know, I appreciate them incorporating the X-Men terminology into this film as well. It's kind of like that breaking point. Obviously, adamantium is what the bone structure of Wolverine is going to get incorporated into. Very curious to see how that ties into play. So most definitely in that regard, I am very excited for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, when it comes to my overall rating for Captain America and Brave New World, is it better than Captain America the Winter Soldier? No, not at all. Is it better than Captain America Civil War? No, not at all. Is it better than the original Captain America? Yeah, I'd give it that for sure. 1000%. This movie did what it set out to do. It left me excited for the future of the MCU. Like I said, Anthony Mackie did a stellar job as Captain America. He fulfilled the role. He fulfilled the mantle. I'm very proud of that performance for sure. There was a whole lot of naysayers. There was a whole lot of doubt. But ultimately, I think he did what he set out to do to showcase he is well deserving of the mantle of Captain America and to lead the next series of Avengers. Definitely some nitpicks. The sound quality was a little bit off. Definitely have to throw that out there. I don't know what was going on, but definitely not perfect. It was a lot of sound issues where I was tough to hear the voices. It's like the music was louder than the voice structure itself. So that kind of sucked. If I could live the rest of my life without ever having to see CGI Liv Tyler again, that would be too soon. We could have left that part out, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. After credit scene was kind of weak as well. They kind of alluded to the Avengers Secret Wars, but kind of weak. Usually we get like a reveal of a new character in the after credit scene, but not so much this time. So kind of a letdown, honestly. Soundtrack score was okay. Not my favorite. I definitely prefer the original Winter Soldier Civil War music a bit better. But I mean, again, that's personal preference, a little nitpicky in my opinion. Just something to throw out there to kind of cap us off with the review. That's really about it though, man. Other than those few little things, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I really did. So, okay, now it's time to let me know how you felt about it. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you really enjoy Anthony Mackie's performance? Did you think it was terrible? Do you still think Bucky should have got the shield? Let me know in the comment section below, man. If you wouldn't mind, if you would hit that like button, I'd really appreciate that. And maybe consider subscribing to the channel. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, my friends, thank you for the support, truly. And I will see y'all on the next one. I'll catch y'all later. Bye. Avengers, assemble.